Hello and welcome to the FCICA webinar series. Thank you for joining us. This webinar will be recorded. The recorded session will be housed on the FCICA Member Center and this educational portal. Mark your calendars for these upcoming webinars. Thursday, December 9, how do high moisture resistant products work in high moisture conditions and how can they still fail? Presented by Jeff Johnson with Mapei Corporation. And on Thursday, December 16, is the Best of Wayne and Rob podcast live webinar presented by Wayne Highlander, National Sales Manager Adhesives, and Rob Johnson, Tech and Training Field Manager with Bona US. Visit FCICA.com to view and register for these events. Please note, today's program introduction and presentation are pre-recorded. For the Q&A, please enter your questions during the program in the Q&A box, and Shane will write his responses in real time. The presentation will conclude at the end of the recorded webinar. Thank you for joining us for Incorporating Subfloor Materials into Sustainable Design. We are pleased to introduce our presenter, Shane Jenkins, with Schönox HPS North America, Inc. Shane has worked in the flooring industry for more than 25 years. He joined the Schönox team in 2015 as a regional business manager for the Louisiana, Mississippi, and Eastern Texas regions. In 2018, he moved into his current role of Senior Technical Coordinator based in the Florence Support Center in Florence, Alabama. Shane is an active member of several professional organizations, including ASTM, Install, FCICA, ICRI, CFI, RFCI, and NTCA. He is the past president of the American Subcontractors Association of Mississippi. Welcome, Shane. We're excited to have you. I'm going to turn the controls over to you.
Hello, everyone. Shane Jenkins here, HPS Technical Coordinator. I want to talk to you a few moments today about sustainable design and the Schönox approach to that. For those that are not familiar with Schönox, we are a global manufacturer of high quality materials such as primers, moisture mitigation systems, patch and repair mortars, self-leveling compounds, adhesives, and waterproofing. We are proud to say we're celebrating our 130th year in the global marketplace and 10 years within the US marketplace. So today, let's look into sustainable design, how we can incorporate products in the design of our buildings and the renovation of those buildings, and how Schönox is helping you with that. So when we're talking about HPS Schönox and we're talking about building products, we need to design products with their planet in mind. No longer can we take the approach that it is good for today, we don't need to look at tomorrow. What we're doing in today's economy and our building construction will definitely impact future generations. So what can we do together to make sure that we're building products with planet in mind? Not only just a green environment, but also for our today's environment and health and wellness and safety. If you look at the word sustainability, we can kind of look back at some of the early environmentalists that was leading the charge for the global environmental impact. There was a gentleman by the name of Paul Hawken. Paul wrote a book in 1994 titled The Ecology of Commerce. He gave a really good definition of what we're talking about sustainability. And I quote, "Sustainability is an economic state where the demands placed upon the environment by people and commerce cannot be met without reducing the capacity of the environment to provide for future generations. Can also be expressed in simple terms of an economic golden rule for a restorative economy. Leave the world better than you found it. Take no more than you need. Try not to do harm to life or to the environment. Make amends if you do." So this has been the strategy and the course that Schönox has taken when we're looking at sustainable products. Can we make the world better than when we found it? Can we take no more than what we need? Can we try not to do harm to life within the environment? These are things that we're striving to do to make sure we are being good to our economy, but also good to our environment as well as our health and safety. So we need to make informed decisions. Our commitment to the environment is as unyielding as our subfloor materials. How do we do that? We need to make informed decisions, because when we make informed decisions about products that we're using, then we're making good decisions for the overall life of that building and for our environment as well. Not only the environment in terms of trees and of mountains and of streams, but also the environment as it comes to the health and safety of the people that are occupying these spaces that we're designing. We can look at this in three different categories. One, again, the environment. How can we reduce carbon emissions? We do that with carbon offsetting. What can we do in order to offset the carbon that's being produced? Airlines normally do this by planting trees. Schönox does this a little bit more than just planting trees in the forest. We need to make sure that what we're doing in the production of our facility and production of our material is also carbon offsetting. What can we do in product design to help reduce that? Another way we can help out with the environment is reduce the VOC content and VOC emissions. Volatile organic compounds in the environment is not good for the health and safety of the occupants thereof. So we need to make sure that products that we're producing are not only low in VOC content, but also in the emission thereof. We need to design products that are sustainable, products that are designed for refurbishing material. Can we take something that is existing and turn it into new? Can we use products that are used for more renovation rather than for demolition? Can we reduce the amount of landfill collections? Can we produce products that will give us the ability to reuse, to refurbish, to redesign, to reimagine these buildings rather than tear them down and start over again? How can we help the health of not only the occupants that are working in the building while it's being constructed, but also design for those that are living in these buildings in the long term? Can we design products that are dust reduced to reduce the amount of filtration needed in HVAC systems, to reduce some of the carcinogenic products that may be contributed by dust? Can we use products that are solvent free? The EPA eliminated a lot of this in our adhesives in the mid-90s, but we took that strive even further to make sure that these products are not only solvent free, but also low odor. When we're talking about the health and safety of our occupants, again, not only for our people in the construction field, but in future. We're doing a lot of open occupied spacing right now. We're looking at retail spacing. We're looking at a lot of healthcare space that may be existingly occupied. We need to make sure that our products being used are very low odor and solvent free, dust reduced, so we can look at the health and safety of those occupants as we're working. How do we do that? First, it starts by research. Schönox has over 30 full-time chemists and product engineers working around the clock, trying to design and look at the impact that our products are having on the economy, how our products are having impact on the environment, how these products are having impact on health and safety. We put up a 16,000 square foot research development center exclusively for this. As you see on the middle photograph, that is our research and design facility. It is a global facility that we're looking at how we're impacting the environment, not only here in the United States, but in Europe and across the globe. We look at development. We're always trying to be on the forefront in technology to find out what is a better way to do things. To date, we have over 250 advanced products designed for interior finishing. These products has led to the development of biomimicry for our subfloor repair materials. For those that may not be familiar with biomimicry, we're taking a product that would normally be found in nature and design it in a process of engineering or innovation to mimic that in the natural world. So a good example of that, in 1948, a Swiss engineer by the name of Georges de Mestral noticed how the cockaburs were attaching to his dog's skin, to the coat. He looked at that and designed a product called Velcro. He took something that was normally found in nature and by engineering and by advancement, mimicked that into a product that could be used for everyday use. I'm going to get into a little bit more detail of how Schönox is using that for our subfloor repair materials. And then by practice, Schönox not only uses recycled material in our production facility, but we also look at climate actions aimed to be more carbon positive, better for our economy and better for our environment. The picture on the right, you're seeing a large tower on the back left-hand side. Underneath that is a water holding facility that holds 1.5 million gallons of rainwater. We collect that rainwater for the local farmers and ranchers that are surrounding our facility. We make sure that what we're doing gives back. We want to make sure that we're doing things that are both positive for our carbon emissions, but also positive for future generations to come. So we need to have a forward-thinking approach when it comes to subfloors. At Schönox, we have devised a synthetic and hybrid products that are sustainable as a business development that requires for present generations without restraining the prospects of future generations. This is a product and a process that we're very proud to introduce to you today. So with that, we have to look at transparency. I talked about informed decisions being good decisions. Without that greenwashing, we want to make sure that we're not just giving you a marketing ploy, that we're not just saying that our products are green just to say that. We're actually producing products that are good for the environment. We are doing that through sourcing, such as the U.S. Green Building Council, to give you products that can be contributing to your lead points from our primers, our moisture mitigation systems, our patch and repair compounds, and our adhesives. Also future for that to become, we'll talk about in just a few moments. So how can we do that without greenwashing? It requires informed decisions. It requires giving you the information up front and clear and concise information. We have environmental product declarations that are globally recognized on all of our products found on our website. All of our products are ISO 901 and 1401 certification. Those certificates can be found as well. And we also give EC1 Plus certification. This is one of the most stringent VOC requirements on the planet. This gives us the ability to not only pass EC1 certification, but also IMO certification for low VOC content. So let me give you a little bit of environmental success story. How have we at Schönox come to the point that we can say we've used that biomimicry that we talked about? We have found a process to produce a synthetic calcium sulfate or gypsum product. Not only that we can advance this by biomimicry, but it also enhanced the overall properties of that gypsum subfloor material. It gives us a better product performance in the same way we're improving the environmental impact. Let me show you how we're doing that. Natural gypsum that you see in gypsum self-leveling compounds and in drywall is a naturally mined material. It's used in the production of those self-leveling compounds and those repair materials. Natural gypsum contains organics and impurities that often affect the overall performance of the material. If you look at the picture on the bottom, you see from the top of the mine to the bottom of the mine, you get a difference in class of material. Top of the mine may have more iron oxide in it. Bottom of the mine may have more pure gypsum. So it's very hard to control that and get a pure product out without having some defects within natural gypsum products. What can those defects be? Natural gypsum in its raw state lacks very little compressive strength and very little flexural strength. Normally winds up with cracks within that system. We do not need this in today's environment, because if we have to go back and repair these cracks every 18 to 24 months, we're not doing well for the life cycle cost of that building. Again, we want to make sure that we're eliminating that demolition cost and that landfill cost. The better we can put in another product that will not have the attributes of those cracks and those fissures, the better off our buildings may be. And also natural gypsum, again, contains organic matter. With that organic matter and a little bit of moisture and humidity, it gives a food source for mold. Mold cannot be environmentally healthy for the impact for our interior finishing. If we're talking about using this in an apartment complex, in a healthcare facility, this would not be very well for the health and wellness of the building occupants. So we had to find a way to do this better. So we come out with synthetic gypsum. I'm gonna get a little bit detail on how this is produced, but natural gypsum, again, mined from the earth, contributes to mold and mildew growth, very unstable. Synthetic gypsum contains no organic material, therefore does not contribute to mold and mildew growth. So let me kind of show you what we're talking about. How do we produce a synthetic gypsum compound? If you look at coal burning plants or fossil fuel burning plants, there is a emissions coming out of top of those flumes. That flume is normally consisted of sulfur dioxide. Sulfur dioxide is what will contribute to greenhouse gases and acid rain. So when that sulfur dioxide is not controlled coming out of that flume, it is carried by the wind, condenses within clouds, and then that cloud gives forth to acid rain. When acid rain comes contact with the earth, then we have kills of plant life. It pollutes our rivers and streams, has environmental impact on the health and safety of our fish and our wildlife, and also erode stonework, such as bridges and building systems. So how do we combat that? Schönox devised a way that we can make a byproduct from a coal burning plant. We take a calcium slurry and we add that within the flume to produce synthetic gypsum. These products that we're producing will contain anywhere from 48 to 52% pre-consumer material. So let me show you how that works. The sulfur dioxide is coming up through the flume, as you see in the middle of your screen. A wet scrubber containing liquefied calcium and limestone is sprayed within the flume as a mist. When that happens, the synthetic gypsum will fall to the bottom as a slurry. This is not fly ash. It's different from fly ash. Fly ash will continue to come through. This synthetic gypsum solidifies and will be produced as a slurry that will take back and fortify and get to a component that is usable in the self-leveling compound. We do that by fortification. You're looking at an autoclave that we use in order to fortify that material. If we can keep that calcium slurry, calcium sulfate slurry, under high pressure and high heat, then it will become an alpha particle system, which gives you high strength and high durability and high flexural strength that we could not get with a natural gypsum. So if you look at it underneath a microscope, keeping it in that autoclave will give you that alpha particle, that hexagon shaped material. If you look at the Schönox logo on the bottom of your screen, you see the little S in green. That is there as a representation of the hybrid synthetic gypsum alpha particle. When the pressure is released in the autoclave, it will become beta shaped. Beta shaped is amorphous, kind of like a Q-tip. So it will not give you the same compressive strength and flexural strength as you would with alpha. Schönox has the only facility that will produce 100% pure alpha particles in our production of our material. So alpha synthetic gypsum has a minimum compressive strength of 5,800 PSI after 28 days when tested with ASTM C109. Alpha particles will also give you minimum flexural strength of 14,000 PSI using ASTM standard C348. Normal concrete installation that we're talking about in today's environment normally have a compressive strength close to 3,000 to 3,500 PSI, flexural strength close to 1,000. So with the alpha particle system, with our synthetic, not only reducing emissions to our power plants, but now producing a material almost twice the strength of normal concrete and with higher flexural strength as well. Look at Schönox AP. This is a synthetic self-leveling compound, well suited for our gypsum and cement substrates. Also works on those asphalt mastics. It's designed for refurbishment work in interior areas. Because of the non-shrinkage of synthetic gypsum products, we can use this over existing floor finishes. over your VCT, the vinyl asbestos tile, the mastic, the wood floor, and in historical renovations, Schönox AP can be installed from a 1/16 of an inch all the way up to 2 inches in one lift. It's suitable for underfloor heating systems. It's pumpable. It's very smooth. Gives us the ability for caster loadings at a 1/16 of an inch, and it's suitable for most flexible floor coverings. So Schönox AP is a perfect way to reuse that existing facility without doing demolition. We can use Schönox AP again over that vinyl asbestos tile without doing the abatement in order to keep that landfill cost from going up as well. So alpha particle gypsum with minimal shrinkage allowed for installation of resisting finishes, reducing the need for demolition, significantly reducing the landfill material and the cost associated with disposal. Here are examples of 2 classrooms that were done in Chicago area. This facility had vinyl asbestos tile on the floor. Schönox SHP primer was applied to give us a substrate ready for the AP to bond to. Schönox AP was installed within 24 hours, is ready for installation, and new floor covering was done without the need for demolition. Schönox APF is a synthetic gypsum compound that is fiber reinforced. It's especially suitable for those wooden substrates and other critical substrates, especially in our multifamily applications, in our high-rise and our mid-rise. These embedded fibers give the rigidity and the reinforcement that we need in these renovation products. Schönox APF is installed between 1/8 of an inch and 1 inch. Now we have a compressive strength of 6,200 with a flexible strength of 1,600. Ready for floor covering after about 16 hours. Again, it is pumpable. It has very low shrinkage, does not contribute to mold and mildew growth. It's very smooth, suitable for underfloor heating systems, capable of being installed over existing floor finishes and existing gypsum. We have been putting Band-Aids over Band-Aids on existing gypsum and multifamily applications for decades. Now we're looking at generational repairs that we can do a generational repair one time and have that repair last for years to come without doing it year over year, end over end. So alpha material with that fiber gives the subfloor its need for end cycle. It can be revitalized. They not only look new, but they also perform better than the previous substrate. Can we make things better than when we found it? That was one of the principles that Tal talked about earlier. The embedded fibers of that Schönox APF will allow you to go over those existing gypsum systems and plywood system, but it also gives us the ability to do something very unique. We can also use Schönox APF over carpet. Yes, people are going to say, why would we ever put APF or a self-leveler over a carpet application? To give you an example, the Chicago Art Institute had a facility wanting for renovation. They were going from a glue-down carpet installation to an LVT. The dust made within demolition was going to be cumbersome, but underneath that carpet was discovered vinyl asbestos tile. So the environmental impact of removing all of the artwork was bad for the economy, but also bad for the environment, and we could not create the dust or the demolition to do that. So Schönox APF was utilized over that existing carpet without demolition. Next morning, we can come in, put down their new LVT without demolition. Is this for every project? No, but it does give us the ability to be sustainable when we need to be. So for our building health, at Schönox, we need to look at our building owners and our contractors and installers and our end users. But we do have a lot of products within our lineup that are dust reduced for better indoor air quality at the time of installation. We need to make sure that we're looking at the impact that we're doing of the occupants within time of construction. Like I said earlier, not only for the installers, but with open remodel system, we need to make sure that we're not putting on impact for the health and wellness of those people within that building. Low VOCs will be better for the indoor air quality of those long-term occupants. We want to make sure we're leaving them with a healthy building. Our products contain no chromate content, which reduces the irritants found in some of these products, skin burns used by using these products. Several of our products are red list free. They reduce the health and hazards often associated with construction material. So our environmental and our performance aspect we say there is no compromise between product performance and environmental responsibility. We don't have a separate line of green products. We stand behind the attributes of all of our products. Everything that we produce is always thought about what is here for the future. What can we do now to better our tomorrow? A couple examples that we're doing with this. During the time of COVID, we came across a project for a Memphis hospital retrofit. This facility was an existing printing press for the local newspaper. We had a demand for an open COVID hospital. The time needed to do the demolition would not put the project on schedule in order to meet the demands of the COVID hospital research team. The Corps of Engineers contacted us. We went with a product called Schönox AP that we talked about, primed over existing vinyl flooring that did not have to be removed, poured the Schönox AP using a pump, come back in next morning, was ready for installation. This gave the ability for that hospital to not only open on time, but also better for the environmental impact and also better for the health and safety of the people that were going to be occupying that hospital in the very near future. Second one is St. Andrew's Episcopal Church. This is located in Virginia. This project had a bad case of plasticizer migration coming through. The environmental and the VOC emissions coming through was degrading the health of those product and those participants within the Episcopal Church. Schönox came in with a 3D Renotech system and a hybrid called AP Rapid Plus in order to give them a new substrate that would seal off the volatile organic compounds associated with that Episcopal Church. We gave them a new substrate ready for installation within 24 hours. This is the Fuse Factory located in Mobile, Alabama. This is over a 300-year-old building, downtown Mobile, one of the largest and oldest buildings in the downtown area. The Fuse Factory is an incubator used for nonprofits. The existing substrate was creosote plank that had an existing gypsum poured at about 1 inch to 1.5 inches. That gypsum was deteriorated and falling apart. The design team first looked at removing the existing gypsum, again contributing to the landfill cost, and trying to pour back something that would be sustainable for them to give them that modern, sleek, urban look. That was not feasible with the weight requirements and the sustainability requirements of the Fuse Factory. Schönox AP was able to be installed, a stain was applied, and then a walkable coating was applied over the top of it. So Schönox AP in this facility became the decorative surface and a floor covering for that. This project is now about 7 years in its making, still holding up great, great success story using Schönox products. Bronx Medical Center also had a need for a fast-paced installation over a system prior to COVID. Demand for medical facilities within COVID was extreme in the New York area. Schönox AP was allowed to be installed over existing epoxy coating and existing floor finishes without that demolition time or that demolition cost. With the non-shrinking of Schönox AP, allowed them to give them a new substrate better than the one before, ready for installation. So at Schönox, we want to make sure, again, that we're being transparent, that we're giving you the information that you need to make those informed decisions. So how can we be found? We're a member of Mindful Materials. It is a library and a platform for that environmentally conscious contractor and architects. All of our products are approved for inclusion. They have been vetted by industry experts. So if you go to mindfulmaterials.com, look up Schönox, you will see our products listed there with all the information that you would need to make that informed decision. Schönox is also involved with BIMsmith. BIMsmith uses those resources from Schönox to make sure that we're putting together projects very quickly for your spec through BIMsmith Forge and BIMsmith Market. Go to bimsmith.com for more information. And you can also look for resources for our certification. Again, Mindful Materials as listed on the screen. Our website, hpssubfloors.com, or you can email me at Schönox Technical Services, sjenkins@hpsubfloors.com. we'll be glad to get you all of the information as quickly and as efficiently as possible. Thank you all for participating today. I hope we answered some of the questions that you may have about how Schönox is providing economical solutions and economy solutions, and to let you know that when it comes to eco, we're on it. Thank you very much.